Hi everyone, this is the Nordic Venture Show, your guide to the exciting world of Nordic startups and venture capital. In today's episode, we're exploring a startup called Doublepoint.
Have you ever noticed how much we use our hands when we talk? Like, even right now, I'm probably gesturing and I don't even realize it. I mean, think about if you're trying to describe something, the size of a fish you caught, or like the way someone moves.
Oh, yeah,
It's
absolutely.
just like this natural part of how we explain things.
Yeah, it's like before we even had like complex language, it was all about gestures and expressions, and we still do it.
Right, and like so fundamental to being human that it makes you wonder, could we use that to like actually interact with technology better? And that's actually what we're going to get into today. This company, Doublepoint, they're working on gesture recognition for wearables.
Yeah, I was reading about them on their website, and it sounds like they're really trying to like tap into that like inherent human thing of gesturing and like kind of skip past all the like tapping and swiping we do now to interact with all this tech.
Yeah, exactly. So we've been kind of looking into their whole thing, the tech, the vision, and how it could apply to all sorts of stuff, AR and VR, the Internet of Things, our smartwatches, all that. So, like, what we really want to understand is how they're making this tech, more robust and versatile and just like more human, I guess. Let's see what they're up to.
Yeah, for sure. So, like, stepping back for a second, this whole idea of gestures being essential for natural interaction, it's kind of obvious, right? But then you think about how much we're glued to screens and talking to our devices, it's like we're missing something.
Totally. I mean, double point is like the hammering this point home that this is how we've always communicated, show, don't tell kind of thing. And it's like, when you think about it, some of the ways we use tech now are so clunky. Like trying to type on a tiny little keyboard or, shouting at Alexa, hoping it gets it right. It would be so much better to just, do it.
Exactly. And that's where they come in. They have this thing called the Double Point Kit, and it's supposed to be this whole package for developers who want to build gesture recognition into their products.
Cool. So what's in this kit? Like, what are we talking about here?
Well, they have a developer smartwatch, and it has an IMU, that's an inertial measurement unit, which tracks like movement and orientation. Plus, they have these PPG sensors, which are usually for heart rate, but can also tell you about like blood flow and tiny movements.
Oh, so it's like the hardware is built for this specific purpose of recognizing gestures. What else?
The brains of the operation is this thing called the double point engine. It's like a set of algorithms you can license, and it's what actually decodes the hand gestures. And then they have this advanced raycasting model. You know how raycasting is used for like pointing and interacting in 3D space? It's like that.
Gotcha. So not just the algorithms, but also like tools for making sure it works right.
Exactly. And they have all these reports and evaluation tools so developers can like tweak the accuracy and responsiveness for their specific use case.
Okay, cool. So they make it easy for developers to actually use this.
Oh, yeah, totally. They have SDKs, software development kits for all the big development platforms, Unity, Python, Android, JavaScript, the whole shagoo. So no matter what you're building, you can use it. And get this, they even give you some ready-to-use demos for SR and IoT devices so you can see how it all works.
Oh, wow, that's smart. So you could actually picture it like controlling your smart home with gestures or using it in VR. And they say this kit is available now, right? Like this is a real thing.
Yeah, it's ready to go so developers can actually get their hands on it and start building. And speaking of building, let's get into some of the specific features they talk about. One that caught my eye was this eye tracking trigger.
Oh yeah, the look and tap thing. Sounds pretty cool. So how does it work?
So for devices with eye tracking, think like AR glasses or whatever, you look at what you want to interact with, and then you do a pinch gesture, and boom, you've selected it.
It's like they combine the best of both worlds. They say it's like point and select on steroids, faster and easier to learn than a mouse. And I kind of see it. Like it seems so much more direct than like using a controller or voice commands.
For sure. And you don't have to do all that weird stuff like blinking or staring or talking to your device. It's just like a quick natural motion.
Right, right. Okay, so another one that's pretty interesting is this wrist-based waycasting. That sounds a little more complicated. Like how can you use a smartwatch to point at things without needing sensors on like a headset.
Well, it's all about the IMU, remember? Their algorithms can analyze the tiny movements of your wrist and figure out which way you're pointing, and then it can also tell exactly when you make that pinch gesture. So it's like you're creating this virtual ray that goes from your hand into the digital world.
So I'm wearing my AR glasses and I point at something across the room and the watch picks up on that and then I pinch to click on it, all without needing extra cameras or anything on the headset itself.
Yep. And this is huge because it takes a lot of the processing burden off the headset. Battery life and computing power are always a big deal with wearables, and this frees up a lot of resources.
It's pretty clever, so they're thinking about the whole system, not just the gestures themselves. Okay, what about this smart IoT control? Sounds like a pretty practical use case for having gesture recognition on your wrist.
It is. It's like your smartwatch becomes this universal remote for all your smart devices. Imagine just flipping your wrist to turn the lights on or off, adjusting the volume, changing the channel on your TV. It's all just natural hand movement.
It's like having a remote built into your body. And no more digging through apps or yelling at your smart speaker. Just do the gesture.
Exactly. And then they have this hands-free watch interactions thing, which is all about making the smartwatch itself easier to use.
So instead of poking at that tiny little screen all the time, you just use hand movements. What kind of gestures are we talking about?
You could tap to scroll, double tap to select pinch and hold to confirm things like that. So it just makes navigating menus and stuff so much easier, especially when you're on the move or, the other hand, is busy.
It makes sense. It's so hard to hit those tiny buttons on a smartwatch when you're walking around. So this is a much more natural way to do it. So it seems like they're targeting a pretty wide range of platforms with this tech.
Yeah, they specifically mention AR, VR, IoT, and smartwatches. So they're not limiting themselves to just one thing. It's they want this to be the standard way we interact with all sorts of devices.
And just for context, they're based in Helsinki, Finland, with offices in other parts of Europe. Doublepoint Technologies, always it says on their site. Always good to know who's behind all this cool stuff.
Yeah, it gives it a more real-world feel, right? So basically, we've got this company that's really pushing the boundaries of how we interact with technology using these natural human gestures.
Yeah, they built this whole kit for developers to integrate this gesture recognition into all sorts of devices, from headsets to watches to whatever. Eye tracking, wrist-based pointing, hands-free control, the whole 9 yards. And it all comes down to making tech work more like how we already naturally communicate.
I think that's the key takeaway here. It's about adapting technology to us instead of us having to adapt to technology.
So here's something to think about. What if gesture recognition was just built into everything? Every device we use, every wearable, how would that change how we think about the digital world? I mean, we're so used to screens and voice commands, but this could be something totally different. It could be a more natural way of interacting with the digital world. It's what new things could we do? What problems could we solve? It's definitely something to consider as we head into this future where tech is everywhere.
No doubt about it. It's going to be interesting to see where it all goes.
Absolutely.
Thanks for listening to the Nordic Venture Show. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more stories of innovation from the Nordics.